That is the field before the lines and bases are put down. The grounds crew performs the same ritual for every game on every field, laying chalk lines, putting down bases, mowing the outfield. It's as timeless as the game itself, and it's all in anticipation of two words: play ball.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dixie Junior Boys Championship Baseball, live on the Beaufort County Channel from Oscar Frazier Park in beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina. We're at the Leo Vanoni Memorial Field, Field 3, and we'll be bringing you live action from this elimination game in the Dixie Boys Junior Tournament between the visiting District 4 Lexington County All-Stars and the home team, the District 3 North Augusta All-Stars. And while we have a second before play starts, let's give you a rundown of the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Lexington County All-Stars. Leading off at shortstop, it's Hunter Hoffman. Bradley Vest bats second, plays center field. Bristol Shannon, the catcher, bats third. Landon Alexander at second base, bats cleanup. Nick Romanoli, the pitcher for today's game for Lexington, bats fifth. Batting sixth at third base, it's Blake Goings. Batting seventh over at first base, William Matthews. Batting eighth at right field, Tyler Bird. And rounding out the batting order in batting ninth in left field, it's Todd Foster. For the North Augusta All-Stars defensively, in the outfield, left to right, Jackson Miles, Wyatt Jackson, and Dalton Kerr. Around the infield, third to first, Brody Chapman, Walker Geddes, Aiden Hager, and DJ Bell. It's Hampton Bridgers behind the plate, and he'll be catching Braden Rutland. And we're about to get ready to go as Hunter Hoffman strides to the right-handed batter's box. These are 7-inning games. When we did the Dixie Ozone tournament, it was 6-inning games. These are 7-inning games. And these young men are 13 and 14 years old, and we'll tell you a little more about each of these young men as we go this morning. But right now, Braden Rutland gets his sign, and the first pitch of the morning is taken inside for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes to Hunter Hoffman. And now 2-0 to Hoffman. Hunter Hoffman named steak as his favorite food, Justice League as his favorite movie. He's a Yankees fan and a Derek Jeter fan. Likes to play video games in his spare time. Wants to be a pro baseball player or a coach when he grows up. And he's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes to lead off the top of the first. Rutland again with a sign, and a 3-0 pitch on the way. Up high, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch leadoff walk for Hunter Hoffman, and a good start for Lexington here in the top of the first. That'll bring up the center fielder, Bradley Vest. So Hoffman gets his lead off first. Vest stands in. Rutland with the sign, and a pitch on the way. Outside, ball 1. Want to thank all of our viewers who are tuning in all across South Carolina and really all across the Southeast and the whole country. We had viewers from Chicago and Kansas and some other places that tuned in for the Ozone tournament we did last week. And we appreciate everybody who has taken the time to tune in either to the Beaufort County channel or those of you who may be tuning in to BeaufortCountySC.gov. And of course, DVDs are available for purchase from the Beaufort County channel, and you can find out more about that from the website BeaufortCountySC.gov. One ball and one strike, the count to Bradley Vest. Hunter Hoffman leads off first, and we're just underway here in the top of the first. In this elimination game in the Dixie Boys Junior State Tournament, there's a big swing and a miss. And the count's now 1-2 on Vest. For Bradley Vest, he likes hot dogs. His favorite movie is The Goonies. He's a Boston Red Sox fan, a Jackie Bradley Jr. fan. Wants to be either a pro ball player or an engineer. Runner goes from first. He's going to make it standing up into second. So runner in scoring position for Lexington, and a 2-2 count on Bradley Vest. His favorite song for Bradley Vest is Buy Me a Boat. So Hoffman leads off second in the 2-2 pitch forthcoming to Vest. It's an off-speed pitch. It gets all the way to the screen. Runner breaks for third. He's going to make it. So Hoffman now at third base, and it's a full count, 3-2 to Bradley Vest. Lexington trying to break through in the very top of the first. So Rutland gets his sign. 3-2 pitch on the way. Runner leads off third. On the outside corner for call strike 3. There's the first out in the top of the first. Hoffman stays at third. And that'll bring up the catcher, Bristol Shannon. Pitch on the way to Shannon. Misses for ball one. Check that, in there for a strike, 0-1. Got into trouble last tournament getting ahead of the umpire, and did it again here. It's no balls and one strike to Bristol Shannon. 0-1 pitch, that's inside, and the count goes to 1-1. Bristol likes pizza as his favorite food. 12 Strong is his favorite movie. God's Country, his favorite band. As that pitch is hit back to the mound, pitcher looks the runner back to third, throws on to first. What's the ruling? Was he safe or out? Called out. The coach argues that the throw pulled the first baseman off the bag, but Shannon ruled out. And now a conversation between the head coach and the umpire. So Shannon is retired. That's the second out in the top of the first. Runner stays at third. And now Landon Alexander, and now the umpires are going to talk it over. Maybe this play isn't over. And the ruling is the runner's out. So the call stands. So that keeps the runner at third now with 2 outs. Landon Alexander stands in. So now it'll take a 2-out hit from Lexington if they're to score here in the top of the first. They had a runner at third, nobody out. And Hoffman still stands there with 2 outs. And it's a no ball, 1 strike count to Bristol Shannon. Check that, Landon Alexander. Bristol Shannon was just thrown out at first. So Landon Alexander, the batter. A 1 pitch on the way, big swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2. Braden Rutland a strike away from getting out of a little jam here in the top of the first. Landon Alexander's favorite food, and I can appreciate this, is cinnamon rolls. He is a Boston Red Sox fan. He cites Clayton Kershaw as his favorite player as the 0-2 pitch is in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. Wants to be an engineer when he grows up. Rutland into the wind, the pitch on the way, foul back to the screen. And the count stays, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're just underway in the top of the first of the Dixie Junior Boys State Championship. This is an elimination game between Lexington County and North Augusta. And the count now goes to 2-2 on Landon Alexander. 2-2 pitch on the way. That's lined into center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Gets past the center fielder. A run is in, and it's going to be so it's an RBI single for Landon Alexander. He takes second on the error by the center fielder, and it's 1-0 Lexington. And that'll bring up Nick Romanoli, the pitcher for Lexington, to bat. Landon Alexander, the runner down at second. A run in for Lexington. High and tight and to the screen. And Alexander's going to take third. A 1-0 pitch. On the outside corner, the count's even now 1-1. There's a foul out of play. And the count's now 1-2 on Nick Romanoli. Romanoli's favorite food is pizza. His favorite team's the Cardinals. The pitch gets away. Going to be a play at the plate, and he is out. There was a wild pitch. Landon Alexander, I'll get to talking right here eventually, broke for home. And he is tagged out at home plate. But Lexington takes the lead. They score a run. An RBI single by Landon Alexander gives the Lexington County District 4 team a 1-0 lead as North Augusta comes to bat. In the bottom of the first, you're watching the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back for the bottom of the first. We go to the bottom of the first with Lexington leading 1-0. North Augusta comes to bat. They will face Nick Romanoli and the Lexington All-Stars. It'll be Brody Chapman, Aiden Hager, and Walker Geddes, the first three for North Augusta. And there's ball one to Brody Chapman. Unfortunately, we don't have any biographical info on North Augusta. And its count is now 2-0 to Brody Chapman. Romanoli with the sign, the pitch on the way. That's on the outside corner. The count goes to 2-1. Like the Dixie Ozone Tournament, which Edgefield won on Thursday, this is a double elimination tournament. And it's always sad to see teams go home. But that will unfortunately happen to one of these two teams this morning, either Lexington or North Augusta. The count is now 3-2 to Brody Chapman. He thought it was ball four, but called a strike by the umpire. And now the 3-2 pitch on the way. And that is hit into left field. A leadoff single for Brody Chapman and North Augusta. Good start for the District 3 team here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Aiden Hager. Hager, the second baseman for North Augusta. There's a wild pitch all the way to the screen, and Brody Chapman's going to take second. So North Augusta with a tying run in scoring position. One ball, no strikes, the count to Aiden Hager. Runner leads off second, and it's a swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Nick Romanoli looks in, gets his sign from Bristol Shannon. And it's a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way. Is inside, gets away from Shannon, but not far enough for Chapman to advance to third, and the count goes to 3-1. 3-1 pitch on the way is apparently not the 3-1 pitch. No, it is the 3-1 pitch. We had the count right. Aiden Hager didn't. He takes ball 4 and goes down to first base. So the first 2 men reach for North Augusta, a single and a walk, and that brings up Walker Geddes. And he takes outside, ball 1. Not a cloud in the sky at Oscar Frazier Park on this beautiful Sunday morning. A good crowd gathering, just as they did for the Ozone Tournament last week. Runners lead off first and second. 1-1 pitch is on the way, and it's taken high. And the count goes to 2-1. Some of the rules a little bit different in the Dixie Junior Boys. For example, pitchers are on a 105 pitch limit. They were on an 85 pitch limit in the Ozone. Any pitches thrown over 75, they're on a 40-hour rest, a mandated 40-hour rest. If they throw more than 45 pitches, they must sit out 30 hours at rest. So a couple little subtle rules changes between the Ozone and the Dixie Junior Boys. And there's ball 4 to Walker Geddes, and North Augusta has the bases loaded with nobody out. And the pitcher, Braden Rutland, will now be the batter. So a golden opportunity for North Augusta to, at a minimum, tie the game. But they're looking to get much more as they have them loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the first. North Augusta is coached by Cam Starnes, assisted by Daniel Hager and Carl Waldhauer. Lexington is coached by Mark Matthews and assisted by Paul Romanoli and Adam Alexander. And each of those coaches and each of these young men have worked very hard to get to this tournament. And they're going to work even harder to stay in the tournament. Ball one to Braden Rutland, 1 ball and no strikes. The plate kind of jumping around a little bit on Nick Romanoli here in the bottom of the first. Runners lead off first, second, and third. Nobody out, bottom of the first. Good cut by Rutland, but he fouls it back to the screen, and the count's even now, 1-1. Lexington scored their run in the top of the first on an RBI single by Landon Alexander. And North Augusta's trying to put some runs on the scoreboard themselves. That's in there for a strike, and the count's 1-2. This would be a huge strikeout if he could get it for Nick Romanoli. Rutland digs in. The pitch on the way is kind of a inside-out swing foul down the left field line. The count stays 1-2. Runners lead off first, second, and third. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Fisted back to the screen. The count stays 1-2. In addition to the Dixie Junior Boys Tournament, the Dixie Boys Tournament is going on simultaneously. So all kinds of baseball coming your way over the next few days on the Beaufort County Channel. And this all culminates on Thursday with the champion of the Dixie Junior Boys and the champion of the Dixie Boys. So stay tuned to the Beaufort County Channel for some exciting baseball over the next few days. There is a foul and a good battle between Nick Romanoli and Braden Rutland. Bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the first, 1-0 Lexington. Runners lead off first, second, and third. Romanoli with the sign. The pitch on the way outside. And that fills the count, 3-2. The pitch on the way with the runners getting their lead. That is hit. Fielded by the shortstop onto second for 1, and the relay to first not in time. And now we got runner hung up between second and third. Runners all over the place. That's going to end up being a double play. So a huge double play for Lexington. Keeps North Augusta off the scoreboard, puts runners on first and third now with 2 outs, and brings up Colin Moore. Runner breaks from first, and Moore fouls it out of play. No balls and 1 strike. I'll admit that I couldn't follow how that double play unfolded quite like I should have. There's shadows, and we're looking through a screen up here in the press box, and I didn't follow everything like I should have, so I apologize for that. But it's 2 outs on the board for Lexington. They've kept North Augusta off the scoreboard for now, and now they got the runner hung up between third and home, and he's going to get back to third. The shortstop was covering third. He was a little late getting there, so a break for North Augusta. The runner from first does move up to second. So 2 runners in scoring position for North Augusta, and it's a no ball and 1 strike count to Colin Moore, the DH for North Augusta. now the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Lexington so far has kept North Augusta off the scoreboard. North Augusta had them loaded with nobody out. Now they have runners second and third, 2 outs. And the pitch on the way is hit in the hole and into left field, a base hit. It's an RBI single for Colin Moore, and North Augusta ties the game. It's 1-1. Runners now first and third for North Augusta with a run in. Wyatt Jackson, the center fielder, will be the batter. And the pitch on the way is high, ball 1. All tied up at 1 in the bottom of the first inning. And that is hit foul, just foul, past third, down the left field line. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Wyatt Jackson. One pitch on the way is cut on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. That is hit into left field, a base hit. North Augusta is going to take the lead 2-1 on the RBI single by Wyatt Jackson. In to score Walker Geddes. And North Augusta now enjoys a 1-run lead. Runners now first and third with 2 out, 2 runs in, and Hampton Bridgers, the catcher, stands in for North Augusta. Runner goes from first, and he is going to make it into second standing up. So 2 more runners in scoring position for North Augusta. That is hit into right field, knocked down by the second baseman from his knees onto first. It's a wide throw, he's safe, and a run in. It's now 3-1 North Augusta, as Colin Moore comes in from third to score the 3rd run of the inning. So that's an RBI infield single for Hampton Bridgers. That was a good play by Landon Alexander at second base to knock that down for Lexington. He made a good throw, just a little off target, and pulled William Matthews off first base. Now the runner goes again from first. It's a swing and a miss, and North Augusta taking the extra base all over the place here in the bottom of the first, as DJ Bell stands in for North Augusta. Now Bell bats with 2 more runners in scoring position, 3 runs in, and that's hit into left field. That's going to get through for a base hit. It's an RBI single for DJ Bell, and North Augusta with a 4th spot. In the bottom of the first, they take a 4-1 lead. So that'll bring up the left fielder Jackson Miles with 4 runs in for North Augusta in the bottom of the first. Runners first and third. Let's see if North Augusta is going to do some more running. Very, very aggressive base running here in the bottom of the first. DJ Bell leads off first. His single, RBI single, has made it a 4-1 lead for North Augusta, and that's fouled back right toward my window and off the sidewalk down below. The count, no balls, 1 strike to Jackson Miles. A 4-1 game, North Augusta with the lead. Runner does go from first. It's an off-speed pitch in there for a strike, and it's yet another stolen base for North Augusta as DJ Bell again goes into second, standing up. So 2 more men in scoring position. And the 0-2 pitch is outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Lexington appears to be much more concerned with the batters than they are the base runners, as North Augusta's taken extra bases all over the place. That's fouled back to the screen, and the count stays 1-2. North Augusta's taken the extra base seemingly every opportunity they've had here in the bottom of the first. Nick Romanoli with a long look in. He gets a sign from Bristol Shannon. Runners get their leads off second and third, and the pitch on the way is an off-speed pitch, and Jackson Miles just gets a piece of it and stays alive. And the count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch on the way is chopped towards second, fielded by the second baseman, who throws on to first in time. And that will end the bottom of the first, but a very good bottom of the first it was for District 3's North Augusta. They score 4 times. And that takes us to the top of the second, with North Augusta leading Lexington in this elimination game in the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament. The score, North Augusta 4, Lexington 1. We'll be right back for the top of the second, live on the Beaufort County Channel. So North Augusta with his 4 spot in the bottom of the first. They take a 4-1 lead over Lexington as Lexington comes to bat in the top of the second. Braden Rutland still on the mound for North Augusta. And he'll face his opposing pitcher, Nick Romanoli, Blake Goings, and William Matthews. Romanoli lists Talladega Nights as his favorite movie. Good movie. Mike Trout as his favorite player. And he likes to fish and go to the beach in his spare time. And he swings and pops it up high in the air into short right field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. The second baseman and the right fielder couldn't connect. And it's a leadoff single and a good start for Lexington here in the top of the second. And now Blake Goings, the batter. Blake Goings lists shrimp as his favorite food. The Fast and Furious series is his favorite movie. His favorite sports team, the Atlanta Braves, and his favorite player is Brian McCann, the catcher for the Braves. And an interesting choice of a career. He says he wants to be a mechanic for the Air Force when he grows up. 1 ball, 1 strike count. That's hit out toward short. Slow roller. The flip to second for the Force is in time. The relay to first will not even be made. So it's a force play. Nick Romanoli forced out at second. Blake Goings reaches first base. That's one out. And now William Matthews bats for Lexington. Ball really wasn't hit hard enough to be a double play. And now going from first, and the throw very wild and backed up by the second baseman. It's a stolen base for Blake Goings. So another runner in scoring position for Lexington. And it's a 1-ball and no strike count to William Matthews. Matthews takes high and inside for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Matthews likes pizza. His favorite baseball movie is Major League, one of the classics. His favorite sports idol, Christian Wilkins. In addition to baseball, he also plays football, basketball, and he wrestles. And he wants to be an entrepreneur and a business owner when he grows up. And the count is even on Matthews, 2-2, with Blake Goings leading off of second. One out here in the top of the second. That's all the way to the screen. And Goings will move over to third. So a 3-ball, 2-strike count to Matthews. And a runner now on third for Lexington. Rutland into the wind. The pitch on the way is inside. And it's a walk to William Matthews. Runners now first and third for Lexington. Tyler Bird will be the batter.
Tyler Bird.
4-1 game, North Augusta with the lead, but Lexington trying to answer here in the top of the second. Tyler Bird's favorite food is a Big Mac, a Mickey D's Big Mac. I don't know. Maybe a sub. What just happened? It must have been a ball. So did a run score? Trying to sort out what's going on here. Not sure what the call was. A run is in for Lexington. It's a 4-2 game, and it might have been a balk on Braden Rutland. That all happened before anybody in the press box knew what was going on, but we're thinking that it might have been a balk call that got the runner in from third. At any rate, it's a 4-2 game with a runner at second and just one out. Tyler Bird, the batter for Lexington, and it's a 1-ball and 1-strike count. Runner at second and a run in for Lexington. It's a 4-2 game, and that's lined back to the pitcher. The throw to second is a little wide, back safely the runner. That's the second out here in the top of the second. Bird hit it hard, but right to the pitcher, who made a good play. And so that'll bring up Todd Foster. A 4-2 game, North Augusta with the lead. Todd Foster now the batter. A pitch on the way. Misses for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Todd Foster. pitches in there for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. Big swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Foster just stays alive as he fouls it back to the screen. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. Todd Foster goes down swinging, and Lexington will have to settle for just the 1 run here in the top of the second. So we go to the bottom of the second. In this elimination game in the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament, North Augusta leads Lexington 4-2, and we'll be right back on the County Channel. Brody Chapman will lead off for North Augusta in the bottom of the second inning. North Augusta on top of Lexington 4-2 in this elimination game in the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament. Nick Romanoli still on the mound for Lexington. And it's a 2 ball and no strike count to Brody Chapman. The 2-0 pitch on the way is outside, ball 3. I hesitated because I don't want to have to correct the count again. These umpires very deliberate in their strike signals. So the count's 3-0, 3-0 pitch on the way is outside, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch leadoff walk to Brody Chapman. As Nick Romanoli pounds the ball into the mitt, that's not the way he wanted to start the bottom of the second inning. Again, these are 7-inning ball games. They were 6 innings in the Ozone tournament. And these pitchers can throw as many as 105 pitches. If they throw less than 45 pitches total, they must sit out for 30 hours. If they throw between 45 and 76 pitches, it's also 30 hours. Anything greater than 75 pitches, it's a mandatory 40-hour rest. So runner at first, nobody out, bottom of the second, 4-2, North Augusta has the lead. Romanoli into the line, the runner goes again from first. The throw down to second bounces up there, still fairly close, but in there safely, Brody Chapman. And each of these teams continuing to be very aggressive on the base paths. So Chapman now leads off second And it's a 1-ball, no strike count to Aiden Hager. And now a 2-0. Now the umpire's signaling 1-1, not 2-0. So it's a 1-1 count to Aiden Hager, with Brody Chapman, the runner, at second. And outside, and now the count 2-1. And that's outside. The count now 3-1 on Hager. And Hager takes ball 4. So it's 2 runners on with nobody out. And Walker Geddes, the batter for North Augusta. And meetings all over the place. Geddes was talking it over with his coach, and now Lexington with a meeting. And you can understand the strategy. One of these 2 teams moves on, the other of these 2 teams will go home. And might be, is it a new pitcher? It is a new pitcher for Lexington. Hunter Hoffman will enter the game, and he will take over for Nick Romanoli on the mound. So Hoffman will get a few warm-up tosses, and he will come into the game with runners on first and second. Nobody out for North Augusta here in the bottom of the second. Romanoli with 50 pitches in this game. So he will have to sit out 30 hours before he can take the mound again for Lexington. So Walker Geddes comes to the plate. Runners get their leads off first and second. And Hunter Hoffman about to deliver his first pitch of the morning. He gets his sign from Bristol Shannon. The runners get their leads off first and second. And Hoffman delivers, and the ball gets all the way to the screen. The runners are going to move up to second and third. So 2 more men in scoring position for North Augusta, and it's a 1-ball, no strike count to Walker Geddes. Hoffman to the plate. In there for a strike, 1-1. I was about to call ball 2, but we're on that 5 or 6 second delay. And it's a 1-ball, 1 strike count, the 1-1 pitch. Misses outside, and the count's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Misses for ball 3. The count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners on second and third. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. North Augusta leading 4-2. And there's ball 4. So the base is going to be loaded once again for North Augusta as Walker Geddes trots down to first. And Braden Rutland will now be the batter. This is the second time Rutland's come to bat with the bases loaded. He came to bat in the bottom of the first with the bases loaded. Hoffman into the wind. The pitch is in the dirt, and the count's 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch on the way. Outside, 2-0. Hit in the hole between short and third into left field, a base hit. It's going to be an RBI single. For Braden Rutland, it's a 5-2 lead for North Augusta. The bases will remain loaded, still nobody out. And Colin Moore will be the batter. Mr. Moore looks to be a very tall, strong young man. We saw a lot of tall young men in the Ozone tournament, the 11 and 12-year-olds. Some players that were at that age over 6 feet tall. Moore takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Bases loaded. Nobody out. A run in for North Augusta. They lead Lexington 5-2. Hoffman with the 1-0 pitch. That is hit out towards short, fielded by the shortstop, who flips to second for 1. The relay to first, not in time. 1 run scored for Edgefield, and now a second run comes in. So 2 runs are going to score on that ground out. It's now 7-2 North Augusta. And some more confusion. There's an out call at first base, but I'm not sure why. So we may have the number of outs wrong. We may have the runs wrong. Well, now the runner looks like he's back on first, so he's not out at first. And now a meeting between the umpires, and if I'm honest, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what's going on here. Colin Moore was the batter. He had a ground ball. They got 1 out at second on the force play. The relay to first looked to not be in time. Heads up base running by North. 1 run scored because the bases were loaded, so 1 run scored automatically on the force play. But heads up base running by North Augusta appeared to score a second run on that ground out. And now the umpire is going to come to the walkie-talkie and we'll figure out what's going on.
What about first base?
So what happened?
1 out off that play.
So there's 2 outs now?
What's that, sir? Correct.
So did 2 runs score or just 1
No,
run?
it's just 1 run. That runner will go back to third. Runner's out at second, but runner should be
So
safe at first.
apparently what's happened here, there's been an interference call down at second base for North Augusta. So there's just 1 run in? So there's only 1 run in. It's a 6-2 lead for North Augusta. And everybody confused, as you can see, both coaches and the umpires discussing the situation right at home plate. So we know there was an interference call down at second. This is kind of like the famous skit from Abbott and Costello, who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third. And we're still not 100% clear on what's going on here exactly. We're trying to figure out where base runners should be, how many outs are on the scoreboard. It's a 6-2 lead for North Augusta. So there will be 2 outs and 2 in for North Augusta. They'll have a runner at third. That's hit into left field. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning. So 2 runs score for North Augusta. They extend their lead to 6-2. We apologize for all the confusion as that play unfolded. We think we've got it sorted out. And we go to top of the top of the 3rd coming up with the score North Augusta 6, Lexington 2. We'll be right back on the County Channel. So after some confusion in the bottom of the 2nd inning, we go to the top of the 3rd with North Augusta leading Lexington 6-2 in this elimination game in the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament. Braden Rutland still on the mound for North Augusta, and he will face the top of the batting order for Lexington, Hunter Hoffman, Bradley Vest, and Bristol Shannon. And the count now 2 balls, no strikes on Hoffman, who took over to pitch for Lexington in relief of Nick Romanoli, who started. And the count now 2 balls and a strike on Hunter Hoffman. To try and clear up what happened in the bottom of the 2nd on that interference call, there were 2 outs recorded on that play. The runner at 2nd forced out, and the interference call was the 2nd out. And that's why the fly to left was the 3rd out that ended the inning. And that's why one of the runs that we credited originally to North Augusta was taken off the scoreboard, and they're just giving credit for the 1 run. So 6-2 the lead. We think we have everything sorted out. It's a 3 ball and 2 strike count to Hunter Hoffman leading off the top of the 3rd. And it's ball 4, so another leadoff walk for Lexington. And Bradley Vest will now be the batter. Vest takes high and tight, ball 1. Runner goes from first. Close play down there, and this time, called safe. The throw beat the runner, but the ball dropped out at second base, so it's a stolen base for Hunter Hoffman and a runner in scoring position for Lexington. The count, 2 balls, no strikes on Bradley Vest. Pitch to the plates, fouled off to the screen, a good cut by Vest. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Check that, 1 ball, 1 strike. Check that, 2 balls, 1 strike. We had it right the first time. 2-1 the count. Well, clearly it was, clearly we don't know what the count was. That's a strikeout of Bradley Vest. So we apologize for that. That's an out, the first out in the top of the third. Hunter Hoffman remains the runner at second. Bristol Shannon the batter, and all trying to do a little better job of keeping up with the umpire in the count here, as that is ball 1. These umpires work really, really hard. Some umpires signal quickly and emphatically, and you know exactly what the call is. Some umpires are a little more laid back about it and a little less obvious, and that's the case with our home plate umpire today. So I'll watch a little harder as the 2-0 pitch will be forthcoming to Bristol Shannon. And that is a ball, and the count now 3-0. 6-2 North Augusta as Lexington bats in the top of the third. That's behind the batter all the way to the screen, so it'll be a walk to Bristol Shannon. Hunter Hoffman advances to third on the wild pitch. And now Landon Alexander will be the batter with runners on first and third. Alexander singled in the first run of the morning rather. It's only 9:58 for Lexington back in the top of the first. So we got a new pitcher here for North Augusta. And Braden Rutland's afternoon is finished. And it is going to be Brody Chapman now on the mound for the North Augusta team. Chapman will get a few warm-up tosses. Braden Rutland leaves the game having thrown 57 pitches. And so like Nick Romanoli, he will be required to have a 30-hour rest. It's runners first and third for North Augusta with nobody out in the top of the third. Landon Alexander ready to go. Runners first and third for Lexington. Nobody out. Top of the third. 6-2 North Augusta with the lead. Runner goes from first. And yet another stolen base. We've seen it all morning. Base runners all over the place, and both teams taking the extra base every opportunity they have. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Lexington. A 1 ball, no strike count to Landon Alexander. Chapman comes set. And it's in there for a strike, and the count's even 1-1. One pitch in there for a strike. The count's 1-2. And that's hit high and deep and down the line. In left field, it's a fair ball, goes all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score for Lexington. And it's a two-run double. And now a 6-4 game. Landon Alexander swinging a big bat for Lexington in this game. That's his second and third RBIs. And it's a two-run game, 6-4 the score. And that'll bring up Nick Romanoli, who started the game on the mound for Lexington. So 6-4 the score. And the pitch to the plate misses for ball one. Inside in the dirt, and the count 2-0. Landon Alexander, the runner down at second. And that's fouled back to the screen. The count now 2-1. Popped up to the screen, foul. The count's even now, 2-2. Pitch on the way is taken on the corner. Call strike 3. Romanoli goes down looking. So runner now at second. 2 runs in. And Blake Goings the batter. That pitch is hit into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Alexander rounds third. He's going to score. And it's suddenly a 1-run game. It's 6-5. RBI single for Blake Goings. And another good ball game here this morning at Field 3 at Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, South Carolina. William Matthews will now be the batter. 3 runs in for Lexington. Runner goes from first. Throw down to second. Closer play than some, but in there safely is Goings. And it's a 1-0 count to William Matthews. And now what's going on? Somebody's hurt for North Augusta. That's the second baseman, Aiden Hager, who's down to his knees in short right center field. We'll see if he's okay. Six to 5 the score. North Augusta has the lead. Lexington has scored 3 so far on the top of the third inning. Looks like everybody's okay. We'll get back to the action here in just a second. Brody Chapman and Braden Rutland switched places. When Chapman came in to pitch, Rutland went back over to third, so they switched spots. When Chapman took over, that pitch has popped up a mile in the air over toward first. Everybody chasing it. DJ Bell comes on. Nice catch. Ends the top of the third inning, but Lexington draws to within just 1 run. And North Augusta comes back to bat in the bottom of the third. Now leading by just one run at 6-5. You're watching the Dixie Junior Boys State Championship Tournament right here on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. North Augusta comes to bat in the bottom of the third. Their lead now just a single run. Hampton Bridgers leads off for North Augusta. Hunter Hoffman still on the mound for Lexington. And Bridgers takes ball one from Hunter Hoffman. Hoffman sets, 1-0 pitch. Is in there for a strike. 1-1 strike, the count to Hampton Bridgers. Fair ball, tapped right out in front of the plate. It's going to be an easy throw on to first. And very quickly, one retired here in the bottom of the third. Bases empty, one out, and that'll bring up DJ Bell. Pitch on the way to Bells, all the way to the screen. 1 ball, no strikes. One 0 pitch on the way, outside again. Count goes to 2-0. Two 0 pitch is hit back to the pitcher, who fields and throws on to first in time. 2 up and 2 down very quickly here in the bottom of the third. And that'll bring up Jackson Miles for North Augusta. 2 quick outs for Hunter Hoffman and Lexington here in the bottom of the third. And the first pitch sails outside, ball 1 to Jackson Miles. And now 2-0. 2-0 pitch finds the zone, and the count's now 2-1. And that's hit out into center field. They're going to get down for a 2-out single. So Jackson Miles with a base hit. North Augusta with a man on at first and 2 outs. And that'll take it back to the top of the order and Brody Chapman. So we still have yet to see a 1-2-3 inning from either team. And Hunter Hoffman will try to retire Brody Chapman and bring Lexington back to the plate in the top of the 4th with a chance to tie it. Chapman fouls it off third base side, and the count's 0-1. Throw over to first to keep Luke Miles close, and you can understand why Hunter Hoffman would do that, as these base runners have been running at will. Both teams running at will in this game. So Miles, and there he goes, takes off from second. Pitch is popped into center field and caught out there in center field for out number 3. North Augusta turned away in the bottom of the 3rd. Lexington comes to bat in the top of the 4th. The score 6-5, North Augusta with the lead. Here at the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. Lexington comes to bat here in the top of the 4th, down by just a single run. Brody Chapman still on the mound for North Augusta, and Cameron Miller will be the batter for Lexington. Miller's first at bat of the game. Nice snag there by Chapman on the pitcher's mound, who underhands to first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Good play by Brody Chapman. A 1 out, nobody on. That'll bring up Todd Foster for Lexington. And he hits it softly out towards second, snagged by the second baseman very quickly. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. And we go back to the top of the order, and Hunter Hoffman will be the batter for Lexington with the bases empty and 2 outs. North Augusta clings to a 6-5 lead. And there's strike one from Brody Chapman. No balls and a strike. That's lined into center field and going to get down for a base hit. It's a 2-out single for Hunter Hoffman. So that'll bring up Bradley Vest. We'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsors who've made this tournament possible. Sponsors like Outback, Jimmy John Subs, Local Pie, Station 300, Wendy's, and Loco Sports. We appreciate each and every one of you for making this tournament possible. Runner goes from first. That's it out towards second sharply over his glove and into right center field. And Lexington's going to have runners at first and third. Hunter Hoffman has to army crawl back to third base, but he's going to make it. Bristol Shannon will be the batter. I don't think he thought he was going to bat this inning because he still had on some of his catching equipment. So he's got to take off his leg guards, and now he's ready to hit. There were 2 quick outs for North Augusta here in the top of the 4th. But now Lexington, for North Augusta, they're on defense. Lexington, though, with a couple of runners on now, first and third with 2 outs, and a chance to at least tie the game, if not take the lead here in the top of the 4th. Bristol Shannon digs in. Runners get their leads off first and third. Runner goes again from first. That's popped up. Will it stay in play? Back toward the screen and caught by the catcher, who at first didn't see it. Hampton Bridgers did not see that ball, but he recovers in time to make the catch right at the screen and turn Lexington away here in the top of the 4th. So Lexington threatens, but they fail to score, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. North Augusta still on top 6-5. We'll be right back on the County Channel. We go back to the bottom of the 4th. North Augusta on top 6-5 on Lexington. Hunter Hoffman still on the mound for Lexington. And he'll face Aiden Hager leading off the bottom of the fourth. This game's zipping right along. We're already in the bottom of the fourth. We've been at it now for about an hour and 25 minutes. And the pitch is fouled off at the plate, and that'll be strike one to Aiden Hager. Hunter Hoffman gets the sign he wants, and the 0-1 pitch on the way is taken outside. They count 1 ball, 1 strike to Aiden Hager. 6-5 North Augusta with the lead. Inside, and Hager has to skip out of the way, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Tapped past the pitcher's mound. The throw to first bounces up there. Aiden Hager's going to be safe at first. What do we think? Is that a hit or an error? So leadoff runner aboard for North Augusta with nobody out. That'll bring up Walker Geddes. That's an error on Hunter Hoffman that allows the runner to reach, and that pitch is popped up into short right field. Everybody chases it, and the right fielder can't come up with it. Might have lost it in the sun, and North Augusta is going to have runners on first and second. That'll have to be an E9, I think, on the right fielder. Might have lost that in the sun. It's a bright sky. And the first 2 men reach for North Augusta with nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. So Hoffman will try to work around a couple of errors as North Augusta tries to get some insurance here in the bottom of the fourth. Runners get their leads off first and second. Pitch on the way to Braden Rutland, misses. 2 balls, no strikes to Rutland. Pitch on the way, that's hit high and deep into right center field. That's going to get down and roll for a while. Up against the wall, 1-run scorers for North Augusta. Runner rounds third, they're going to send him. There will not be a throw to the plate. 2 runs in for North Augusta. Braden Rutland makes it all the way around to third. And it's now 8-5 North Augusta. A 2-run triple for Braden Rutland brings in 2 more runs for North Augusta, and they now lead by 3. Colin Moore now the batter. And Braden Rutland the runner at third. Hoffman's pitch is swung on and missed. No balls and a strike to Moore. 0-1 pitch on the way, in tight. 1-1 the count. 2 runs in for North Augusta. They lead Lexington 8-5. And there's a big swing and a miss. Colin Moore down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's still nobody out for North Augusta here in the bottom of the fourth. And now 2-2 the count as the 1-2 pitch misses outside. Pitch to the plate's fouled off at the plate. Moore stays alive, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braden Rutland, the runner at third, his 2-run triple has given North Augusta a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 pitch on the way to Moore's, all the way to the screen. Rutland will try to score, and he is going to make it. And is he okay? Looks like he's okay. So in to score from third on the wild pitch, Braden Rutland. It's now 9-5. That clears the bases for North Augusta, and it takes us to a 3-ball and 2-strike count on Colin Moore. So 3 runs in here for North Augusta in the bottom of the 4th. And the 3-2 pitch on the way to Moore is ripped up the middle. That's a solid single. And there's still nobody out. And Wyatt Jackson will now be the batter. And looks like a pitching change may be forthcoming for Lexington as the coach makes his way out to the mound. And that will be the end of the morning for Hunter Hoffman. And let's see who's going to take over for Lexington. Going to be Blake Goings. So Goings and Hoffman will switch spots. Hunter Hoffman will go over to third base. Goings will come in from third to pitch. There are lots of changes in these ball games, and sometimes they're difficult to keep up with. We do the best we can to pass on all those changes to you, but if we miss 1 or 2, we apologize. This is a big game. It's an elimination game, so the winner will move on and the losing team will unfortunately go home. So lots on the line this afternoon. North Augusta's hung a 3 spot on the scoreboard, the bottom of the 4th, and they're not finished. There's still nobody out. Goings completes his warm-up tosses. And here we go. Runner at first for North Augusta. Nobody out. 3 runs in. They lead 9-5 over Lexington. And Wyatt Jackson stands in. Goings ready to deliver his first pitch of the morning. Here it is. And it's in there for a strike. No balls and a strike to Wyatt Jackson. Colin Moore leads off first. Pitch is ripped foul down the left field line. No balls, 2 strikes. The count to Jackson. We'll see if Colin Moore is going to run from first. We've had base runners all over the place today, and just about every one of them has tried to take the extra base. 0-2 pitch on the way. Is reached out and grabbed by the pitcher, or attempted to grab. He misses it, but it's going to be a force out down at second on Colin Moore. So Moore becomes the first out for North Augusta as he's forced at second. Wyatt Jackson takes over as the runner at first base. That's the first out, and Hampton Bridgers now the batter. And the pitch to Bridgers is over his head for ball one. Pitch on the way, and the runner goes. Throw down to second. The plays are getting a little closer at second, but in there safely is Wyatt Jackson. So it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Hampton Bridgers with a runner down at second. 3 runs in for North Augusta, and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Goings into the wind, the pitch on the way, that's ripped into center field. And a nice leaping catch out in center field by Lexington for the 2nd out in the inning. That's a good play out there in center field. That's Bradley Vest who made that nice play. That's the 2nd out. Runner remains down at second. Thomas Dunaway now the batter for North Augusta. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed by Dunaway. No balls, 1 strike. A 1-1 pitch. Misses inside. The count 2 balls, 1 strike on Thomas Dunaway. Wyatt Jackson, the runner down at second. There are 2 outs. There are 3 runs in for North Augusta here in the bottom of the 4th. They now lead Lexington 9-5. Pitch on the way is hit to the right side, fielded by the first baseman who steps on the bag. And that's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 4th, but North Augusta picks up 3. We go to the top of the 5th. Here at the Dixie Junior Boys State Tournament with North Augusta on top of Lexington. The score is 9-5. We'll be right back on the County Channel. We head to the top of the 5th with North Augusta leading Lexington 9-5. Landon Alexander leads off for Lexington. And he's had a good morning. He's had a 2-run triple, an RBI single. And he will try to get on base as Lexington tries to close the gap. They're down by 4 as they bat here in the top of the 5th. Chapman's still on the mound for North Augusta, and his first pitch to Alexander misses. 1 ball, no strikes. One 0 pitch sails outside. 2-0 the count. Two 0 pitch on the way. Foul back to the screen. 2-1 the count. Pitch is popped high in the air to left field and caught out there in left field for out number 1. Landon Alexander flies to left. Base is empty, 1 out. And Nick Romanoli will be the batter. Pitch on the way is outside for ball 1. One 0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Nick Romanoli. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that pitch grazes Nick Romanoli. It was thrown behind him, and it grazes his shoulder, so he'll trot down to first, hit by a pitch. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Blake Goings. Lexington down by 4, so they need base runners. Pitch on the way, a runner going. That's popped up a mile in the air into right center field. Center fielder drifts over and puts it away for the out. That's the second out here in the top of the 5th. Runner still at first. And that'll bring up the first baseman, William Matthews. Absolutely gorgeous morning here at Oscar Frazier Park. There's not a cloud in the sky. And it might not be quite as hot as it's been the last several days. And there's one of these odd fronts supposed to be moving through early week that's actually supposed to make it a little cooler and a little less humid here in the low country of South Carolina. That'll feel good in late July. That is strike 3, so Chapman strikes out William Matthews, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. Nothing doing for Lexington, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 4-run lead for North Augusta. They lead 9-5. You're watching live action of the Dixie Junior Boys State Championship Tournament right here on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll be right back. North Augusta comes to bat in the bottom of the 5th, up by 4. Jackson Miles is going to lead off. 9-5 North Augusta. Going still on the mound for Lexington. And he's ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 5th, 9-5. North Augusta with the lead. 0-2 pitch about to be delivered to Jackson Miles. Here it is. And it's fouled back to the screen. Count stays. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2 pitch on the way. So what's the call there? If the umpire's signaling that Jackson Miles stepped on the plate, I'm not sure what the call is. 0-2. So the count stays 0-2. Goings into the wind. The 0-2 pitch on the way is way outside. 1-2 the count. Games like this will wear you out from a broadcasting and a scoring perspective because it's hard to know what's going on the field at all times. A lot of reading between the lines goes on, as that must have hit Miles, as the count was just 2-2, so he goes down to first. I guess hit by a pitch. That's all it could have been. The count was 2-2, or is he, what's going on? Is he coming back to? No. Miles will come back to bat. Still more confusion here at Oscar Frazier Park. The count will be 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jackson Miles. He must have assumed either he had the count wrong or he assumed that that ball hit him, but the umpire says, no, son, come back to bat. The count's just 2-2. So we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases empty. Goings comes set. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. That does hit him. That's ironic. So we thought he got hit by the previous pitch. He is hit by that pitch. And we could have saved a lot of time and effort if we just let him stay down at first. But he's back down at first. Jackson Miles hit by pitches twice in the same at bat. Stands down at first with nobody out. And now Brody Chapman, the batter. So Miles dances off of first, and he runs on the first pitch. It's an off-speed pitch, and he is going to walk into second base. How many stolen bases is that in this game? A lot. Every time there's been a runner on first for both teams, they've taken off for second. So it's a 1-ball, no strike count to Brody Chapman with a runner in scoring position. And that's down low, and the count goes to 2-0. Jackson Miles is your runner at second. There's nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. North Augusta with a 9-5 lead. Two-0 pitch on the way to Chapman. Instead, Goings looks Miles back to second. Two-0 pitch on the way. Sails outside. 3-0 the count. Going set. Instead, he throws down to second. Miles scampers back safely. So a 3-0 pitch will be due to Brody Chapman. And it's in there for a strike, and that'll take the count to 3-1. Aiden Hager waits on deck for North Augusta. Three-one pitch on the way. That's outside, and it's a walk to Brody Chapman, and North Augusta has the first 2 men aboard with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Aiden Hager now the batter. Lexington calls time. Maybe another pitching change. And it will be another pitching change. Goings will come out of the game. Looks like he'll go back to third base. And coming in to pitch now for Lexington will be Bradley Vest. So Vest will get a couple of warm-up tosses. North Augusta with runners on first and second, nobody out, and a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Get back in the track. Looks like Alex on a hot ball. Nope. Runners first and second for North Augusta. Bradley Vest takes over on the mound for Lexington. His first pitch of the morning is ripped just foul past third. That did not miss by much. So Hager stands back in the batter's box, down a strike. A noisy strike, but a strike. Vest looks in, gets his sign. The runners get their leads off first and second. An off-speed pitch. Misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. That pitch looked a little like an eephus pitch almost by Vest. Took about 15 minutes to reach the plate once he delivered it. Snap throw back towards second. If that had been more to the third base side of second base, they would have had the runner picked off. Miles was leaning a little too far, but Vest throw to the first base side of second, and that allowed Miles to get back in. So the 1-1 pitch, that's ripped into center, but the center fielder barely has to move for Lexington, and that's the first out in the bottom of the 5th. So Vest retires the first man he sees. Runners stay at first and second. And Walker Geddes will be the batter. Pitch is outside for ball one. 9-5 North Augusta with the lead. And they're trying to pad that lead as runners lead off first and second with just one out here in the bottom of the fifth. And that's all the way to the screen, and that'll put two men in scoring position for North Augusta. And it'll be a 2-ball, no strike count to Walker Geddes. So the 2-0 pitch to Geddes, fouled back to the screen, 2-1 the count. Runners lead off second and third. 2-1 pitch on the way. Outside. 3-1 the count. Bradley Vest comes set. And the 3-1 pitch on the way is, I thought that was going to be a strike call, but called a ball, and it's a walk to Walker Geddes, and that'll load the bases for North Augusta with just one out. And that'll bring up Braden Rutland. So North Augusta is going to try to pad this 4-run lead. They've got them loaded with just one out, and Braden Rutland digs in. And the infield for Lexington is going to play in all the way around. And the pitch is behind Rutland, 1 ball, no strikes. So this is a big moment in this ball game. Lexington trails by 4, and they play the infield in, trying to cut that 10th run off. And it's now a 2-ball, no strike count to Braden Rutland. Oh, that might have been a balk call. That's apparently what the call will be. So it's a balk that forces in a run. The runner from third comes in to score to make it 10-5. The runners on first and second move up to second and third. Lexington wants an explanation of that. But that's got to be the call here. And now the umpires are going to talk it over. So everybody sit tight. Only 2 umpires working these games, and they're going to talk it over. Now what's the call here? They're sending Braden Rutland down to first. So is that the 10th run of the game in or not for North Augusta? I'm not sure what the call is that's putting the runner on first. I don't think it was a hit batsman. At any rate, the bases remain loaded for North Augusta. I'm assuming, we're all assuming, that the 10th run of the game for North Augusta came in on that play. And Colin Moore will be the batter. Lexington moves shortstop and second back to median depth. They still play in at first and third as that pitch is ripped to left field, caught by the left fielder. And that's going to be the second out. Ball was hit far too hard for the runner from third to tag. So that's out number 2. Colin Moore hit it hard, but out. And that'll bring up Wyatt Jackson. I'm still not completely clear as to what that call was that put Braden Rutland on at first. See if we can get some clarification. That could have been an intentional walk. That's hit to the first baseman, who picks it out of the air for the third out in the bottom of the 5th. So we're thinking it might have been an intentional walk to Braden Rutland. It was a balk that did force a run in. Braden Rutland was then intentionally walked. We think that's the situation. At any rate, we go to the top of inning 6 It's 10-5 North Augusta. We'll be right back on the County Channel. Lexington comes to bat in the top of the 6th, down by 4. Cameron Miller will lead off for Lexington. We just received confirmation from the home plate umpire that that play was a balk and then an intentional walk, so that's cleared up. It is 10-5 North Augusta as Cameron Miller leads off the top of the 6th. Brody Chapman still on the mound for North Augusta. 0-1 pitch on the way. It's a big swing and a miss. 0-2. Oh-2 pitch on the way is all the way to the screen. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch on the way. Grounded sharply to third. Good play by the third baseman who fires across to first in time. That was a great play. That's Braden Rutland over at third. Ranging to his left. And then an accurate throw on to first. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 6th. And there's strike 1 to Todd Foster. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Yeah, the count. No balls, 2 strikes to Todd Foster. Bases empty. 10-5 North Augusta with the lead. Oh-2 pitch on the way again, foul to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes to Todd Foster. Bases empty. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The 5-run lead for North Augusta. Chapman into the wind and the 0-2 pitch on the way. Hit toward third, again fielded by the third baseman. A 1-hop throw to first, scooped out by the first baseman. Good play on both ends. Good play by Braden Rutland to get to the ball, and he threw a strike over to Thomas Dunaway, who's playing first base for North Augusta. And that's 2 outs in the top of the 6th, and North Augusta a chance for the first 1-2-3 inning for either team this game. Hunter Hoffman will be the batter for Lexington. Chapman comes set and the pitch on the way. Outside for ball one. Chapman is a quick worker, and the 1-0 pitch on the way is hit out to short, and there is the first 1-2-3 inning we've seen this game. Lexington goes 1-2-3. North Augusta comes to bat in the bottom of the sixth. They lead 10-5. We'll be right back on the Beaufort County Channel. We go to the bottom of the sixth from beautiful Oscar Frazier Park in Bluffton, South Carolina. And there you see a shot of the gorgeous sky. Virtually a cloudless sky overhead. And sunny skies also for North Augusta as they lead by 5 in this game, 10-5 over Lexington. In this elimination game, one of these two teams will move on, the other will go home. And for North Augusta, Hampton Bridgers will lead off here in the bottom of the sixth. Lexington with one more swing. These are 7-inning games, so they'll have another crack at North Augusta in the top of the seventh. Bradley Vest still on the mound for Lexington. 0-2 pitch on the way. Hit foul up toward first. O2 pitch on the way. Outside, 1-2. Nice breeze kicking up now at Oscar Frazier Park. That's hit out toward third, up near the bag, but foul. And the count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. If the prediction of that rare summer front is true and we do have less humid and cooler weather, that will be a welcome thing for everybody involved, the staff, the volunteers, and the players here at Oscar Frazier. Last week with the Dixie Ozone Tournament, it was hot and humid all week long. There's an off-speed pitch that goes behind the batter. And the count's now 2-2. Foul back to the screen. The count stays 2-2 on Hampton Bridgers, leading off for North Augusta in the bottom of inning 6. The next game coming your way, scheduled 4-12, right here on the Beaufort County Channel, right here from Field 3, will be another junior boys matchup between Moncks Corner and Midland. So stay tuned to the Beaufort County Channel. More live action of the junior boys, Dixie Junior Boys State Championship coming your way at 12 o'clock.
I'll make it now. So make an announcement and say, please anyone park in the grass parking lot. There are cars that are blocking it and others they need to move.
It's a 3-ball, 2-strike count to Hampton Bridgers. Pitch on the way. Hit out toward third, fielded by the third baseman. Long throw across to first is in time. And there's one out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting number 10, Thomas Dunaway.
Thomas Dunaway now stands in for North Augusta. And Dunaway takes ball 1. On the Dixie boys side of things, game just concluded on Field 2. The matchup of these same two teams, North Augusta and Lexington. North Augusta wins that game. And so on the Dixie boys, Lexington is eliminated. And if North Augusta can get 3 more outs in the top of the 7th, the Lexington junior boys will be eliminated. That's hit foul up past first. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Thomas Dunaway. Not sure if you can see the trees out in the outfield with that camera shot, but a nice breeze at Oscar Frazier Park, and that's in there for strike 3. Dunaway not sure, but he'll make a U-turn and go back to the dugout. That's 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting number 2, Jackson Miles.
Jackson Miles now comes to the plate. And he takes strike 1. We went from the confusion of 3 games at once to now just our game. And you can hear a pin drop in the press box. As the count now 1-1 on Jackson Miles. One pitch on the ways outside, 2-1 the count. Two-one pitch. Hit hard out towards second, knocked down by the second baseman. The throw to first is going to be late. And that'll be a base hit. A 2-out single.
Now batting number 3, Brody Chapman.
And that'll bring up Brody Chapman. Bradley Vest gets his sign. Throw to first is late, as Jackson Miles is back safely. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. And what is that, another balk? If that's a stolen base, that's the most leisurely pace I've ever seen a base stolen. Runner at second regardless for North Augusta. The count is now 1-1 to Brody Chapman. Hit out towards second, fielded by the second baseman who throws on to first in time, and that ends the bottom of the sixth inning. So nothing doing for North Augusta. Lexington with one more swing as they come to bat in the top of the seventh, down by 5. We'll be right back for the top of the seventh right here on the County Channel. North Augusta leads Lexington 10-5. They are 3 outs away from moving on in this tournament.
Number 5, Bradley Vest.
Bradley Vest will lead off for Lexington. He'll try to keep Lexington's hopes alive. And he pops it up onto the press box and onto the roof of the press box for strike 1. Brody Chapman still on the mound for North Augusta. 10-5 our score. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Chapman into the wind. Vest takes inside. Counts even now 1-1. Stay tuned to the County Channel. Coming up at noon schedule time. More Dixie Junior Boys action as Monk's Corner takes on Midland right here live on the County Channel. First pitch scheduled for 12 noon, and that depends upon when this game between North Augusta and Lexington ends. Right now it's 10-5 North Augusta, nobody out in the top of the 7th. And Brody Chapman muscled up and threw it all the way to the screen to even the count 2-2. Chapman again ready. 2-2 pitch. Just misses outside. The count's full now, 3-2. And there's another foul. Look out, folks. And the count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chapman again ready. 3-2 pitch on the way. Popped up foul on top of the press box. There's the thud. And the count stays 3-2. Vest is getting around on Chapman just a little bit late. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Again, fouled. Good battle here between Brody Chapman and Bradley Vest. Lexington needs base runners. As the 3-2 pitch is on the way, and it's right down the middle for call strike 3. Bradley Vest goes down looking. That's the first out here in the top of the 7th. North Augusta 2 outs away from moving on in the tournament.
Now batting number 42, Bristol Shannon.
Bristol Shannon now the batter for Lexington. Chapman into the wind. And the pitch on the way is hit out toward third. Fielded on the short hop. A great play. And the throw to first gets by the first baseman. And Lexington has a runner on second. That was a great scoop at third by Braden Rutland, who's playing some third base today, but his throw to first was a little bit off the mark and got underneath the glove of Thomas Dunaway, and that allows the runner to get down to second. So, 1 out, 1 on for Lexington here in the top of the 7th. And that's deflected by the pitcher to the shortstop, who throws on to first late. And Lexington trying to mount a little comeback. They have runners now on at first and third with just the 1 out.
Now batting number 21, Nick Romanelli.
That was Landon Alexander that reaches first base, and now Nick Romanoli the batter. And now North Augusta's coach comes out to the mound. This may be a strategy talk and not necessarily a pitching change. Let's see here. So North Augusta is 2 outs away from moving on in the Dixie Junior Boys Tournament, but Lexington has 2 men on with just 1 out. Chapman remains in the game. Runners will be on first and third. Romanoli stands in. Runner breaks from first, and that's basically defensive indifference on the part of North Augusta. But 2 runners in scoring position for Lexington. And now a 2-ball and no strike count to Romanoli. Chapman again ready. Pitch on the way is hit to left field and caught out there in left field for out number 2. Romanoli hit it right on the screws, but caught by the left fielder for the second out. Runners remain at second and third. Blake Goings will now be the batter for Lexington. Chapman into the wind, and the pitch on the way. Fouled off the screen. No balls and a strike to Blake Goings. 10-5 North Augusta. Lexington with men on second and third. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. And it's now a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Blake Goings. One pitch on the way is again fouled to the screen. The count's now 1-2. North Augusta a strike away from advancing. And North Augusta's fans making some noise. Brody Chapman gets his sign. The pitch on the way is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Blake Goings. Chapman with the sign, the runners with their leads off second and third, the 2-2 pitch on the way. Just misses outside. It's a full count now, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on in the top of the 7th. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3, Brody Chapman. Strikes out Blake Goings, and North Augusta will advance in the Dixie Junior Boys Tournament here in Bluffton, South Carolina. Lexington will unfortunately be eliminated. Those young men played a great game, and they can exit with their heads held high. But in this game, North Augusta comes out on top. They advance. They win 10-5. We'll be back right around 12 o'clock for the second game this afternoon, live on the Beaufort County Channel. It'll be Moncks Corner versus Midland. Until then, I'm Jody Vermilia. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you for the next game. In this game, North Augusta wins 10-5. They move on, and Lexington will unfortunately go home. We'll see you in about 30 minutes or so for the next game live on the Beaufort County Channel. We'll see you then, folks.